Hello and welcome back to the farm. It is still early summer and we are heading back out to the field here. Oh, didn't see him there. Right, there we go. And we're doing it in our big spreader. And that is because I want to get some lime on this field. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to get this field limed, and then once we've done that, we'll get it cultivated in, ready for seeding. We've got a very short period of time to do it in, so it's going to be over a couple of days that we do this. There we go. I just want to get myself lined up properly. And I came out here earlier in my truck just to sort of check things out. I'm going to move it out of the way because I don't want to hit it with a load of lime. Everything seems to be growing rather nicely at the moment. It's a little bit cold, but it should warm up over the next couple of days for us to do this. There we go. But yeah, this is our bit of kit we're using. Our 4045 John Deere with a DN495 on the back. We're gonna spread the remaining lime we've got here. It's more up the top end of the field. We've got a bit of a lime deficiency. But I'm going to do the whole field because that will even things out. And we also have an area across here. So I also want to do this with my my GPS. So I'm going to line things up with my furrows. Activate my GPS. And set my first point like that. Start her up. And away we go. So yeah, shouldn't be too far to set the first one. There we go. And we're now nicely on course. And so getting a good coverage, going fairly swiftly. Because we've not got a huge amount of lime, so it's all a case of getting it covered well. I'm a little bit worried about the width of my coverage. I think I might have to adjust that a bit because that doesn't seem to be running right to me. Let's have a look. Yeah, we are running way too close at the moment. Let me see if I can adjust that. There we go. I think I've got that now, and we'll see if it does it okay here. Yeah, that's much better. So reverse it up, get back on our line, and activate. And we should. This is the only issue I've got, is that it's very difficult for me to see from here with this. Exactly whether I'm getting the right width or not. I can tell from my screens, but it's not always a great indication for me to be able to tell. And there we go. Deactivate, and we'll see whether we've left any gap. Have we? Ah, we have. We should be all right though. We can. I'll run down that and get a restricted spread on there, and we're off again. We are at least running on the right tracks now, which is great. And we got plenty of lime left to do this field. It was one of those things I missed on one of my other fields. We got a strip through the middle of a field. It's actually where we ploughed in between the field before, where we ended up with just this strip that isn't quite right, and the crop isn't doing quite as well through it. But I just, yeah, so I'm being a little bit more cautious here. Ooh. And there we go. And set this up. And away we go again. So I think we've got one more strip to do on here. And that will do. We then need to go and drop this off the back actually. Because we've got a new attachment for this bit of kit. sitting for us down the shop that we need to go and pick up. So yeah, I'm going to get this detached after that. What we do need to do is get this field cultivated as well. And to that end, we've got a cultivator waiting for us down there too. Whereas the attachment for this is all paid for, the cultivator needs to be purchased. So yeah, or needs to be paid for. It's been purchased, it just hasn't been paid for yet. Right, and we'll clear this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down that section that the GPS mucked up on earlier. There we go. Now normally I would do the liming before I got the plough on here, and we wouldn't need the extra stage, but basically we couldn't really do that while we still had grass in the field. So yeah, I needed to clear the grass off, get rid of the grass on here first, and then we were able to get the lime in. Okay, just this one strip and the top headland to do then. Bring it round and in. Yeah, very small strip, but we've got enough lime to cover it. And I've got a restricted, as I said, I've got a restricted spread on here, so we're not using quite as much as we used on the previous ones. And then spread it a little bit further at the top, although that doesn't matter because we're going to do the headland. There we go. Right, trying to watch in my mirror for where we are. That's got it, I think. Right, and on. And away we go. And then that is this field very nicely limed. And we just need to go and we just need to cultivate it in, ready for getting it planted with a new crop. And it is going to be a new crop. I've decided on here we're going to go with the soybeans. Wow, canola is looking very good at the moment. But yeah, I've decided I'm going to go with the soybeans on here. It's a new crop. It should fit into our rotation around here quite nicely. But first I need to go and disconnect this and get us set up for the next job, which is to cultivate all of that lime in. So I've popped down to the shop in the RX. Sorry, the 8RX, and you can see there's our 4240 there, still being worked on in the shop. They're taking good care of it, while we're popping up here and grabbing ourselves our cultivator. And you can see here next to it is our brand new sprayer. They've actually parked those two bits a little bit close for my liking, so we might back this off a bit first. But yeah, this is a nice big cultivator. It's going to do that field in no time flat. But we'll just back it away from our new sprayer. Perfect. And then we can get this back up to the farm and get that field cultivated in. And then we can get some soybeans into it, and that will sort us very, very nicely. We do need to get our field sprayed as well for weeds. We need to get some herbicide on there. We also need to get lots of flashing lights. We need to get the we need to get herbicide. We need to get fertilizer on our fields. That's why we've got the sprayer having just arrived, and yeah. And this 8RX is going to be really useful to us over this summer, and going into the end of the year. Whether we'll be able to run it next year, I don't know. It has basically been given to us to try out at the moment. If we have a really good harvest this year, then it might be worth getting this on the farm. We're certainly looking at larger equipment being able to run with it, and that means we can run larger fields as well, which is always good news. And you know, possibly then looking at expanding the farm to run some larger fields. This though seems to be well, we'll see how this runs in a moment. This is this cultivator is the top end of this 8RX, which means that, you know, without this tractor on the farm, we likely wouldn't be able to use it so well. I think our 7 would pull it, but it's gonna be tough for it, and that is because this is quite big. Right, I'm gonna get it unfolded, and then we can line ourselves up. Yeah, it's not an overly wide piece of kit. This just is requires a fair amount of pulling power. Right, there we go. There we go, and down, and once again set my first point, and away we go. So this is a John Deere 2410 5-section cultivator. It's sort of yeah, the power requirements say 400 horsepower. We're running 388 on this tractor, and it's pulling it absolutely fine. I think this I think you could pull this with pretty much anything down to maybe a 300 horsepower with how easy this is running with this at the moment, especially with the land we have. And yeah, so it's running pretty well. I'm half tempted to get the 7R out on the field and give it a try, simply because I think that I think it would still pull this. I think it would pull it without too much hassle, and I think that's worth a try at some point, especially if we're looking at not keeping the 8R beyond this year. This 8RX though is a very lovely tractor to drive. I am enjoying it immensely. There we go. And a few of you might notice that after last week's or my last video's comments, we got I have worked out how to lower my steering wheel, which is quite an achievement on my part, I think, considering I was fairly new to the tractor at the time. I wondered why my arms were stretched out so far trying to do this. But yeah, so yeah, we eventually found the adjuster for the wheel and got it into a much nicer position to work with. And as you can see, it is working very nicely with this cultivator. We've got a good John Deere setup on here at the moment. And as I was talking about last time, we might look at rearranging and reworking stuff, especially depending on how well this summer goes. A couple of new tractors going down well. There we go, lift it up. Bring it round. And this cultivator is really manoeuvrable as well. Line that up and down it goes. And we're back on the road, or on the field as it may be. But yeah, this is making short work of this. So I'm going to get this finished, and we're then going to hook up our seeder and get that running as well. And yeah, now that we've got the lime under, we should be able to get the soybeans in. As I was saying a minute ago, I kind of want to try out this cultivator on our biggest tractor that we have, which is the 7290R here. So let's hook this baby up and see how this performs on this cultivator. I think with the ease that the Jeytav Ix was pulling it, this tractor should be able to pull this, but we'll see how we go. Alright, so let's lift this up. Oh, did I connect up my... No, I didn't connect up my leads. There we go. Lift this up. I'm going to start from the far end. Now, we've got the joules on this that we normally use for seeding, because I wanted to give this a try. Lots of fields around here looking very, very nice. Right. And so I don't need to... I waited till I got till the end of the field because I didn't want to have to set up the GPS and everything for this on this. So we're going to be eyeballing this. And down it goes. And away it goes. Yeah, this is pulling this with no difficulty whatsoever. Now we have about 320-ish horsepower on this, I think. So yeah, this cultivator does not need the required, or does not need the 400 horsepower that was suggested to me. I think that must be a typo somewhere, because yeah, this will run with this tractor, and this is a good sized cultivator for our farm actually. So between the discs doing the ripping and this sort of following up, that's really good, especially for our seeder. And yeah, the only real reason we need the big seeder now is for putting in the wheat. So yeah, that becomes a question of is there an alternative? Is there something that we can get in a Deere that is not too big? Because lots of the John Deere seeders I've seen are massive. You know, but is there a seeder we can get which will do us better than the horse one that we've got on here at the moment? That will serve us that little bit better. It doesn't necessarily need to be a direct seeder anymore. There we go. And have a section here that needs doing, but yeah, this 7R, this can handle this no problem at all. Absolutely no problem. And has done an absolutely beautiful job. So yeah, if we weren't able to keep the Jeytav Ix at the end of this year, if it was basically just too expensive for us to keep it, then we would still be okay. We'd still be able to keep this this cultivator, which is good. And we know we can keep with this. So I think the time on our square plough, as wonderful as that is as an artifact from the farm from the last few years, it may be time for that to move on as well. But yeah, this cultivator has done a grand job on this. So lift her up, fold her up, and we can get this back to the farm along with both our tractors, I think, and then get our seeder out. I've hooked our planter up to the Jeytav Ix, wanting to give it, it's a little bit of overkill really for this tractor to be pulling this, but should be fine. Now the trick we've got here, and the biggest issue I've got with this seeder, is getting out of gateways, and this actually restricts us more than anything on our on what size equipment we can have. Unless it folds up and we can move it about easily, it tends to be that we can't use stuff any wider than this. But this is still a really nice planter we've got here. So we're going to line ourselves up. And as I said, we're going to put soybeans in. It's getting fairly late to plant them. So I am kind of hoping that we're going to be good. But we should be alright. So let's turn on our seeder. Down it goes. And again, I want to set myself up with a course on my GPS. And away we go. Yeah, that is working very, very nicely. And set my second waypoint. Set myself going. And we're all good. That should mean we get the soybeans in here in no time at all. Yeah, this I didn't expect this tractor to have a problem with this. Great tractor though. I'm still absolutely loving this 8RX. Soybeans are going in nice and smoothly into this field. It's well prepared now, and I'm really, really pleased. Exactly how far we've got today. We have got a lot done. We've got field 29 and 30 are absolutely ready for us. We've got quite a bit of spraying to do over the next few weeks, so we're going to be doing that. We're going to be probably doing a few vlogs on that, I think, along with doing our stuff with our cattle. Because you know, summertime is when we need to keep a closer eye on the cattle. It gets warmer, and they take a little bit more care. Although we don't have to worry so much about the feed, because of course the grass is all about at the moment. Let's look at that, and round we go. But this is yeah, this has gone in well. This is. Do you know what? I love the turning circle on this tractor. Absolutely brilliant turning circle on this. Has been just made things really easy to do on here and keep us going. Like so. We have had to have a bit of a refill of seeds. We got a bit low, so we've refilled them up as well, but it's in general it's just been pretty smooth sailing. So I'm going to get this field finished, I think, and yeah, that will then be us for the day. Coming to the end of what we do with GPS, and so that we can get the headlands done. It will take I don't think we'll quite get a full width here with this seeder. Our cultivator is slightly wider, so yeah, there we go. Let's drop that down, and we'll go across the headland here, and then we'll come back down the other way, because we've got two headlands to do at the far end as well. And that will then cover this field off. We'll have got the soybeans in. We're pretty good with putting in fertilizer at the same time as we're putting in the seed, so that should all be good. There we go, and lift. And now I want to get round and get the rest of it done. So reverse it up. There we go. And down. Just along this edge here to finish this off. Then we've got to go up the side of the field there. And then, as I said, we've got two headlands. We'll end up somewhere near the windmill, I think, when we finish this. We're doing two headlands at the top end of the field. There's that lump in the far corner up by the roundabout. That is going to cause us well, it's going to be a pain to turn around there. There's not much I can do Other than, well, I'm kind of thinking that I tried a different approach here. I tried starting from the corner nearest the farm, when actually what I should have done is started down this side where we normally do. But I wanted to see whether it would make it any easier for us, but thinking about it with that lump in that corner, no it won't, not really. Right, there we go. Let's pull this up to here, down, and away we go on the last stretch. So yeah, we're gonna see how soybeans do up here. It's a crop that does do well in this state. So I'm there are a few places that do soybeans. So we'll see how it performs. Personally, I'm quite intrigued. I think we've got a rotation that fits it fairly well. Soybeans don't do well. Well, soybeans don't get a full yield unless you tend to leave the ground fallow the year before. So we're not looking to do that. We can actually make more money by not doing that. We're going to follow it with corn, and doing that will boost actually the corn's yield. So this is a really good crop for that point of view. Soybeans sell well. They sell for a nice high price. So a 5% drop in yield from not leaving it fallow actually is good for us. It's not something that's, well, it's not good, but it's not the end of the world. It will overall increase yields elsewhere. So that's why we're really looking at it. Across the board, our yields on the farm should improve by adding soybean into our mix, into our rotation. Right, nobody coming, good. Always fun, yeah, and you can see this lump in this corner. It is actually farmable land in the middle of that, but it's just, I can't get any equipment over it. We didn't even mow it, but it is, yeah, you can see how rough it is. We're lucky to be able to even get the seeder and the cultivator and stuff over it. This field in general, field 30, the top end is pretty rough and pretty uneven, but it seems that the equipment we got on the farm can handle it a lot better now than our earlier stuff could. So yeah, it's all good, and that has the soybeans in the field. So that, I think, is where I'm going to leave it for today. Let's lift that up. And yeah, our 8RX is doing a grand job. Yeah, so we're going to get on with some spraying and some horse work, some cow work, some work with cattles next time. For now, though, all that remains is for me to say thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this vlog. Please give it a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. And for all the latest videos from the farm, please subscribe to the channel and ring that bell. And I will see you next time. Goodbye.